Okay, most people can eat food and be perfectly fine, but others can't eat that food without getting super sick. Celiac disease is something most people do not know about. So I was diagnosed in second grade. I think I was 8 when I was passing out in the bathroom. I had to go to many doctor's appointments, had many tests done, my blood work done, and my last blood test that I had was for celiac, and my levels came back at 297, which is completely off the charts, not normal. So then after that, I was sent to a specialist, and I had a biopsy and scope done, and an upper GI. And I have to have my blood drawn like every 6 months or so to make sure my levels are where they're supposed to be, so that my small intestine is not like being messed up. So to understand celiac, we need to understand the symptoms, how you test for it, what it causes if you don't eat the diet you're supposed to follow, and what the diet concludes of. What is celiac disease? Well, according to Mayo Clinic, celiac disease is an immune reaction to gluten, which is a protein found in wheat, rye, barley, and malt. So with people who have celiac disease, they don't get enough nutrition due to the villi in the small intestine, as that lays down instead of stands up, so it doesn't collect the protein that we need. So the symptoms that are with celiac disease include, well, the most common one is diarrhea, but others include bloating, gas, fatigue, low blood count, and osteoporosis. In children, it can cause malnutrition, weight loss, delayed puberty, bone loss, cramping, and lactose intolerance. So the tests that you do for celiac are a serology test, which is a blood test that looks for antibodies in the blood, and if the elevated levels of certain antibody proteins indicate an immune reaction to gluten. So the normal level is between 0 and 15, and like I said, mine were 297, so they are completely off the chart. And another one you can do is genetic testing, and it can just pick out celiac disease right away. So in my family, my great-grandma had it, my grandma has it, my mom has it, and I have it. So it's very genetic in our family. And then if you have celiac disease, your doctor may want one of these tests done, which is an endoscopy, which is a long tube with a camera that goes down your throat. And this allows them to take a biopsy of the villi for damage, which is in your small intestine. Another one is a capsule endoscopy, which it uses wireless cameras, and it takes thousands of pictures after you swallow it. And then what does celiac cause? Well, celiac is left untreated and can cause infertility problems, bone weakness, nerve damage, and skin rashes. Another major one is a digestive cancer, which is lymphoma, and it is in the small intestine, which is very rare in people who don't have celiac, but it's 30 times more common in people who have celiac. So my great-grandma died of lymphoma, so we're guessing, that's why I said it's genetic, we're guessing she had celiac disease and it just was left untreated because at the time they had no clue what that was. So the diet you must follow is very strict because it's very hard to find the foods that are good for you. So the foods that you can't eat are anything with like wheat, rye, barley, and malt, basically what I mentioned earlier. So that is like bread, pasta, cookies, cinnamon rolls, some cereals like Captain Crunch. There's so many things that you just can't eat. And then foods you may eat are anything that says gluten-free, obviously. That's common sense there. But it's a lot of fruits, veggies, and meats. So, I mean, I eat a lot of that. I mean, it's a very healthy diet to follow. Some people just go to a gluten-free diet because it's healthier. And then you honestly just have to read everything because some things have modified food starch, but you have no clue if it's corn or rice or what. So, I mean, going to restaurants, like going out to eat is very difficult because sometimes you don't know if they'll have food for you, or sometimes you're just eating a salad with no dressing because sometimes dressings have wheat in them. So, in conclusion, celiac disease can be very difficult to deal with. As your diet is changing, you're going out to eat is very hard, and it can be very hard to explain. Celiac disease has many foods you cannot eat, symptoms that act like others, such as you can have symptoms that are like the flu, and you have no clue that it's just a long-lasting thing, and it can cause big problems if it's left untreated. I am going on 10 years of having celiac disease, and it's kind of crazy to think that I've had it this long, but I've learned so much in the last 10 years. I mean, when I was first diagnosed, I was spending 4+ hours in the store reading things to find if it was gluten-free or not, and now there's an app or it's labeled right on the food that it's gluten-free, and I know that my children will have it when I have kids eventually because it's genetic. So, thank you.